My biggest blunder.
The biggest blunder I've done in business.
My definite biggest blunder.
Well, depending on how you look at it, you probably flow more than you swim.
Khehla Chepape Makgato. Chepape sama motho la tau mbilo wa matlamatala wa makamashimisi. Tapala tu ihwa isungwa moshata. Ke swara nakana ya tateledi nakana ya morao. Golla tsushi walla tateledi walla motabo kampe. Kinna le no la meloro mebela lora nama liaza. Kinna Chepape chama motho la tau motho wa bwana sekgosese sa borra maite ra tshakwana le ra phatlhela ka o re kgopelo tshaba bakiti. I'm really honored to be invited to come and share my journey with you, along with other great children of Limpopo, children of South Africa, children of African continents. So my story into the visual arts sector started when I was 9. And the affirmation came later when my work was shown on television when I was 10. That is 24 years ago.
Wow.
There was a TV program called Mubani TV, which displayed artworks of young people or children from schools around villages of Limpopo. And my work was shown there. The tricky part was that we didn't have a television set at home. So what happened is that each time my work is shown on TV, my friends, as we go to school, they would say, "Oh, we saw your work on TV," and I would wonder which work was that because we didn't have TV. The only time I sneaked out to the neighbor to watch TV, they already showed other children's work, not mine. I only caught my work once, but it was an affirmation that I have a future in the arts. And that was also emphasized and bolstered by the drama that we went to perform at the Bulugwane Children's World Fair Festival in 1998, where I was part of the young people who performed. So that was an affirmation to say, you have your future in the arts. To cut the story short, I had to go and study visual arts in 2009 after I had matriculated. I had to decide whether I want to go and work, which my mother and my brother found a job for me. But I told my mother that I'm not going to go and work, I'm going to school. At the time, I was awaiting confirmation from the school that I applied for enrollment, was waiting for results, but I had faith that they were going to take me into their class of 2009. My mother said to me that if that is what you want to do, go for it, you've got my support. And that's a bravo to all our mothers who believe in us and believe in our goals. So we come from a great nation. I also agree with you that there is no man-made billionaire. We are all made by the community that we come from. So straight into the visual arts that spans 13 years with 13 solo exhibitions in Africa, Europe, and America. I'm just going to share with you just first 2 solo exhibitions that were very important to my life and my career. After you graduate, you are not taught how to go about your trade. So in most cases, artists end up having to wait to be discovered. But if you discover that you are an artist, you are a painter, why wait for somebody? Do something about your life and your career. That's what I did when I approached Johannesburg City Library in 2013 to request them to give me a space to show my work in a solo presentation for the first time. Bless the guy who believed in the vision and gave me the space and gave me my first solo exhibition and second solo exhibition and third exhibition in that city library, and I never looked back. So the challenge is that when you're a young artist, painter in South Africa, galleries, established galleries, don't really come to you. You are unknown, you are young. So they are waiting for you to really be recognized, then they can come to you. Which it is what happened with my story around the theme, my biggest blunder, failing forward. So after those solo exhibitions, I had fourth solo exhibition at the Market Theatre, which was a huge success because for the first time I got to be driven in a blue light. Wow. Because the former First Lady, that is May Gugumtlanti, was so impressed and wanted to attend my exhibition. So the blue light came to my studio with bodyguards so that I can hop in and go to the Market Theatre to show her around. Wow. And it was one of the greatest highlights of my life because she didn't only come to the exhibition, she bought an artwork. Wow. So that I am grateful. So my story today is based on an artwork that was commissioned for an exhibition that is a group exhibition. So galleries normally approach artists, commission them for upcoming exhibitions. They plan like a year ahead. So the gallery manager or the gallery owner came to my studio in Johannesburg and said, I would like to have you in my next group exhibition next year, the first group exhibition. So along those lines, we agreed on terms and conditions. But the gallery has a contract. They give you a contract, and as soon as you sign it, you have to deliver accordingly. The first blunder was that I did not have a contract as an artist, meaning we were working based on the contract of the gallery, which then they call the shots because you've signed on the dotted line that you will work with them according to their terms. So this is how it works. When the artwork is commissioned, you have to sit down, brainstorm what work you want to do. You have to buy materials, you have to pay rent when you are working, and after the work is done, you have to deliver it to the gallery. And delivering it to the gallery, it is at your own cost. So I will quickly just show you some of the works that I do. In 2019, to mark the centenary of Professor Iskiam Patlele the late, I worked with Zexmda to honor the great man of letters. And these are the portraits that I did to pay homage to him because he's the man who made me love and enjoy literature. So these are the works that I have. I'm not selling them, they are for my own personal collection. So this is the piece that I want to talk about that has been commissioned. It is called Mother Goddess Africa because I believe that we come from women and we have stories to tell about women. Not to save them, not to speak for them, but to speak of what we learned and what we continue to learn from them. So this piece took about a month to complete. Not that I was only focusing on it, I was doing other things. But it was one of the most difficult pieces to create, in a sense that the way you see it now, my slide is being not according to how I would want it. So how it was that it was a difficult piece to create because most of the time I do artwork without facial expressions. Sometimes I do facial expressions. This particular one I had wanted to include facial expressions, but it was so difficult that I painted it and it didn't want to go with facial expressions. I had to go back and repaint on it, and I tried to play around with text. It was not working because it was overlapping the actual portrait. Then I had rubbed it off and left the text and the glasses there. So after that, it reached this final stage. No glasses. I then take it to the framer, get it framed, deliver it to the gallery. Went to the opening exhibition. After the exhibition would run for a period of a month. Unfortunately, that was when the lockdown national regulation, as implemented by the disaster management, hit us hard. Then the exhibition had to close because of lockdown. The agreement was that the work has to be exhibited. If it's not sold, the gallery has the right to retain it for 3 months. So during that whole lockdown, the work was retained. I had followed up after 3 months. It was just hard to get it. But here is the catch. The work was framed white when I took it to the exhibition. Then the gallery, here's how the work was framed on your right. And that is what it was framed when this whole mess happened. When the client, after many months, bought this piece from the gallery, way after the contract has been signed, or the lapsing of the contract, the client decided to frame that work black without informing me. Imagine it this way. You buy your boy child clothes for Christmas for boys. You rock up and your boy child is wearing a dress. That's what I felt when I saw this work being framed black. How I saw it, I was invited to the client to say, your work is showing us flames. The baking board is detaching from the actual frame. I went there and I realized that when they reframed the work, they didn't actually frame it white with a new frame. They sprayed it and they took the baking board, which was white inside, they put the black one, and it was not really aligned with the actual frame. Then it had to wobble. So when I got there, I was surprised. I said, this is the work that I didn't frame. I didn't frame it black. They said, no, according to our corporate look, this is how we do it. And during that time, there was a marathon of email between myself, gallery, and a client. A client wanted us to split the percentage of reframing. And I said, I cannot be a part of it because I did not be part. I wasn't a part of reframing. So I would only volunteer the transportation of the work from the client to the frame of their choice and back. So then after the marathon, the gallery was accusing me of not cooperating and all those kind of things. But the client realized that they are getting me involved into a mess I wasn't supposed to be involved from the very beginning. So they decided to carry the costs. The gallery then goes to the client to apologize in that email, to say we apologize for having included Chepape into this mess, even though we shouldn't have included him. I was very disgusted that the gallery does not really apologize straight to you. It apologizes to the client to look good, but not to me. So that then made me realize that the blunder is that when you work with people who don't respect you, and you continue to work with them, they have no other reason not to continue to respect you, because you are gullible. You just allow people to disrespect you. So then I pulled off my relationship with the gallery. It approached me, they phoned me months later. There was this art bank acquisition where art bank acquire artworks from artists. They said, can you please submit works for submission for this acquisition committee? I said, no, I cannot be a part of that. Actually, art bank had approached me to apply as an individual artist, not through an agent and I realized that it's important to go where you are valued, where you are respected, and where you can feel that you are a part of that particular family of like affair of business. So this is what I wanted to share with you, and I thank you so much.